Hey guys, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a declutter video. I decluttered quite a bit. If you are new here and you love all things girly, especially fragrance talk, perfume talk, go ahead and subscribe because that's pretty much all that I talk about on this channel, and I would love to see you back for my future uploads. With that said, let's jump right into today's declutter video. I recently decluttered a bunch of perfumes from my perfume collection. I posted them on my Mercari. They are gone. They sold literally the same day, and maybe like the last two the next day. So thank you so much for those of you who purchased those perfumes. I pretty much wanted to give you guys the chance to get niche fragrances at dirt cheap prices compared to what they are retailing for, what other people sell them for. That way I can put that back into my channel, get rid of things that I wasn't really reaching for. A lot of things have changed. This is the first time that I live somewhere where the seasons really, like, you can feel it. I can feel like the crisp fall air. I go outside and it's just such a different vibe. Like, it's almost like a shock to me because I've been living in very hot, humid places for so many years. I'm having so much fun, but I'm also shocked at the same time because my nose, the way that I smell fragrances, everything has changed kind of drastically. It's been like a learning curve, definitely. Like, I would put fragrances in my fragrance tray thinking that I'm absolutely going to love them. I plan out like layering combos, and when I put them on, sometimes it's amazing, and then a lot of times lately I'm just not vibing with many fragrances that I used to. I am going to start off with the first one, which was on my channel very recently, and I let you guys know from the get-go this was just like a disappointment for me, and I pretty much only sprayed it like 2 times. So that is the 7 Virtues Cherry Ambition. That one, I kind of was looking forward to a more fluffy marshmallow cherry scent, even though there are also some notes in there that can be a little heavy, a little woody. So I knew that that was to be expected, but it didn't work for me. And that's why I went with the travel size first, because I wasn't really looking forward to it like that. Fragrantica now does have it up on their website, and their main accords, they have it as sweet, powdery, floral, cherry, warm, spicy, amber, vanilla, fruity, soft, spicy, and musky. And the notes are cherry, marshmallow, pink pepper, mandarin orange, saffron, cherry blossom, osmanthus, orris, vanilla, frankincense, musk, amber, and guaiac wood. So honestly, guys, I'm trying out like these new little individual lashes that go underneath, the ones that don't need glue, and I literally feel like my lash is about to fall off. I'm not too sure how I feel about these. So yeah, this fragrance, I don't know, I think I just picked up the cherry, the saffron, the woodiness. I picked up like only the stronger notes, and I didn't pick up the sweet, airy notes in there. So it was kind of like a medicinal woody cherry for me. So that one is gone. That one sold really quickly. Next up, THAMEEN Blue Heart, and that one I reviewed. It is like a masterpiece of a fragrance. It's very unique, it's beautiful, very niche quality, and very expensive smelling, very luxurious. It has like a sexiness to it, but I just kept looking at that fragrance and I was just like, when am I going to reach for this? 90% of my life I am home with my kids, I am running errands, I'm a homebody. I don't go to these like super fancy, extravagant things. The most dressed up that I get, let's say maybe for like the holidays, my birthday, New Year's, that's kind of like when I really pull out those types of fragrances. And ever since I got Pink Me Up, that to me is going to be like my pretty dressed up type of scent. I also really love my Libre Le Parfum for that. I wore that last year for New Year's. So I don't feel like I need a lot of super dressy, fancy fragrances. And maybe to someone else that fragrance is not dressed up or fancy or anything like that, but to me it is. And I just felt like it was just going to waste sitting in my collection. I also decluttered Soul Scandal. So that one was another one that I went back and forth with. There was a time that I really fell in love with it, and I told you guys that I didn't see myself decluttering that fragrance from my collection. But when I tried to wear it here, I believe I put that one on the tray. Or I didn't even get to put it on the tray because I wore it one day and it just was not mixing with my skin well. So Soul Scandal is kind of like heavy on the tuberose. It is one of the prettiest two rose fragrances that I have owned, I remember getting rid of My Way. I remember getting rid of a few fragrances that had that scent DNA and staying with Soul Scandal because it does have like a more lactonic, milky vibe. So it is more smooth, but it's just one that I knew that I was just gonna pick up here and there, and I wasn't really reaching for it either. So that's kind of like a lot of the reasons why I got rid of a lot of these. I also got rid of a niche fragrance, Essential Parfums Boa Imperial. That one was just too green for me. Unisex. It smells great, but it's like a very fresh green type of scent, almost aromatic. I never wore that fragrance. I had it in my collection, but really didn't talk about it on my channel. So again, that one just needed to go because it was taking up room in my collection. I decluttered Layered Cherry Delight, and that one I got rid of because I'm just not really feeling too many cherry scents at the moment. I'm not enjoying them. I have my maybe like 2 or 3 cherry fragrances in my collection that I really enjoy, and they're blended a little differently, they're smooth, and those are the ones that I'm loving. So I was not reaching for that one. That one's a dupe for Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, so that one's gone as well. I also decluttered AMOUAGE Blossom Love, which is the only AMOUAGE fragrance that I had, and I really loved the very girly side of that fragrance, but then it also had like a very powdery touch to it as well, and that one was one that every time I would put it on, it just felt a little too mature for me, and I never got to talk about it too much on my channel either. Like, I reviewed it, and then after that it just kind of sat in my collection, and the times that I did try to wear it, it just never felt like a fragrance for me. I also got rid of Dior Vanilla Diorama. I decided to keep Fève Délicieuse because that one has like a more syrupy, gourmand type of smooth scent to it. It just smells better on my skin. Vanilla Diorama was just very sharp on my skin, and I wanted to let it sit for some time, and maybe that would make it smell a little bit better, but it just is very sharp when I put that one on. It's a very nice vanilla, and it smells amazing. It lasts forever. The longevity on that one is really good, but again, I just don't feel like it was a scent that I was gonna reach for. I decluttered the Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods. That one I decluttered, and I also decluttered Swiss Arabian Casablanca. So I decluttered 2 fragrances that I have loved so much in the past, but there's a reason why. I discovered a new Middle Eastern fragrance that was recommended to me by one of you guys. It's going to be in a haul that I'm going to film today, and that one has that same type of Casablanca DNA. It has kind of like the Vanilla Woods DNA, so I figured I did not need 3 perfumes that smelled very similar. Casablanca was very hard for me to let go of because I love to pull that one out for fall. I've recommended that one in fall videos. It's a beautiful kind of like caramelized apple type of scent. Makes you think of like being at fairs, fall time, gourmand, desserts. But the fragrance that I have, I think should have me covered in that type of scent. So I got rid of those 2 because it was just too much of the same thing in my collection. I also decluttered Maison Francis Kurkdjian 724. That one is a beautiful clean scent. It was one of the only clean fragrances that I have, along with Ellis Brooklyn Myth and a few others, because I'm not that type of girl to reach for super clean fragrances. And I really did love the dry down of that one. It did turn a little bit more sweet towards the end. I feel like if you own Dior Pure Poison, they're very similar, and you don't need both in your collection. But if you have smelled Dior Pure Poison, 724 is pretty much in the same family as that one, and I just don't reach for those types of scents enough for me to think that I was giving it use. So that one needed to get decluttered, and when I tell you this declutter was difficult because I just kept looking at fragrances and wondering, am I going to regret decluttering this? But it's necessary. It's getting to that point where so many of the fragrances in my collection are fragrances that I won't declutter. So I'm trying to get to that collection, just very curated. And I know it's never gonna be completely perfect because our noses do change. So there are some fragrances that I would love. Suddenly I end up not loving them anymore. For the most part, the ones that I have right now, I don't see myself getting tired of them, and if it does happen, I would be really upset. So I also got rid of the 2 MONTALE fragrances that I had. I had Roses Musk. I got rid of that one because I do enjoy my Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Gold. That one to me is kind of like the best in that kind of scent DNA, and Roses Musk just had too much kind of like rose for me. It's a beautiful feminine fragrance. That is like the perfect scent to wear for Valentine's Day or for a date night. It's so feminine, girly, beautiful rose fragrance, but I just don't reach for that type of scent. And then I also got rid of Crazy in Love. Crazy in Love was love at first sniff when I first got it. I was head over heels in love with that fragrance. And then I remember a few months passed by, I went to go put it on and it was a totally different fragrance. There was notes that were jumping out at me that were just not my vibe, and I just couldn't make it work after that. And these are fragrances that I talked about maybe once or twice on my channel, but they never became true like loves of mine. And they're great quality, they're beautiful. A lot of people love these fragrances, so they are not bad by any means. I don't really feel like they're for me. This one has wild rose, violet leaves. I mean, the notes sound amazing. Saffron, brown sugar, amber, and vanilla bean. And I promise you, when I would try to wear that one, it just smelled so different. It almost smelled like it had like oud or something in it. I don't know. It just smelled so weird on my skin. So I just could not make that one work for me. Then I also got rid of Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream. So I let you guys know that when I got those two together, Sweet Tooth has become a favorite, and Caramel Dreams or Caramel Dream was alike when I first got it, but then the more it sat in my collection, I started getting more patchouli, and it started getting very just earthy patchouli with very little caramel, so little that it was hard to pick it up at all. And I just knew I was not going to wear it, so that one was gone as well. I also got rid of Jimmy Choo, I Want You Forever. I went back and forth with that fragrance as well. And this happens to me sometimes with some fragrances. Some fragrances will become loves and they will just stay a love and I will love it forever. And then there's some fragrances where I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it, and it's like this back and forth. And that was kind of what was going on with that one. When I first got it, I absolutely loved it. Then I would try to wear it and there was just something about it. There was a note in there that was kind of messing it up for me. Like the whole idea of it was perfect. It was unique. It was a little deep and mysterious and sexy, but then there was something in there. It's probably because there's cherry in there and I'm just not really vibing with cherry much. So that one has bitter almond, rose, cherry, vetiver. I think those are the notes that are kind of clashing for me, are those middle notes, cherry, vetiver, and jasmine. Because the oak moss note, I've been noticing that I've really been loving fragrances with oak moss. I've noticed that I've been getting fragrances with that note and I really love what it does in fragrances for the most part. It's those middle notes for sure. So I got rid of Jimmy Choo, I Want You Forever. And then I also decluttered Givenchy Very Irresistible EDP. So I remember hauling the EDT and the EDP because I didn't remember which one I owned. And once I got both of them, I realized that the one that I love is the EDT version. That one lasts so long. Even though it's an EDT, don't let it fool you. It lasts so long. It's beautiful. It's like this floral, classy scent while still having a little bit of sexiness to it. It's not too mature, but it is grown up and it's just such a pretty spicy floral. The EDP version is pretty much the same as the EDT, but more intense. So the EDT is already strong for me. So I am okay with the EDT. I decided to declutter the EDP version. That one's already on its way to someone who's going to give it love. And those are all of the fragrances that I got rid of this time around. As I continue to do trays, I might find fragrances that I no longer feel the same about. And in this month's tray, I actually have two that I am experiencing that with. So the first one is Alien Goddess Intense. So I got this, and as you can see, there's a dent in this fragrance. Not a huge dent, but you can tell that I did wear this fragrance quite a few times. I gave it a very good review when I first got it because for it having jasmine, I think it has jasmine tea in it, I actually liked it. But here, I don't know if it's living here, I don't know if my nose changed. I feel like a lot has changed in my life, and I put this on like 2 or 3 times and it's turning soapy in such a weird way. I don't know if it's the jasmine that's really coming through for me. Jasmine note just always makes me struggle with fragrances, so this one is on the chopping block. It might be leaving my collection because I want to have fragrances where when I put them on, I really enjoy them. And I noticed that I always try to find the good in things. So with my perfume collection, I tend to do that a lot. I will get a fragrance and I need to start being a little bit more like just yes or no. Like, do you love it? And if you don't love it, you don't need it. That's the kind of mentality I'm trying to get, because I will be the type of person that will be like, it's not my favorite, but I can probably wear it so and so day, or I try to start finding excuses. I don't want to do that. So with this one, that's kind of what happens with this one. Like when I put this on, I don't automatically say, this smells amazing. I'm kind of like, it smells good, but there's this little thing that bothers me about it. So if I'm having those thoughts, I feel like I need to just get rid of it. So this one's most likely leaving my collection. Now this last one, I am very, very like troubled with and confused, because I was so excited. I was ready to do my layering combinations with it. I actually did it. I let you guys know that I was planning on layering my commodity milk with my Bath and Body Works Sweet Whiskey body cream and body spray. This is not smelling the way that like it used to smell on me. I don't know what. There's something in here that is now bothering me that did not bother me before. I don't know what it is. I just received a travel size of their original milk in the mail. They sent me like a travel size, and now I'm actually preferring that one. So I don't know if it's that I'm just preferring like deeper scents because of the weather changing here. This one is just the woodiness in here. The last time I wore this, I actually got a headache. It made me sick. I layered it with sweet whiskey, and I love sweet whiskey. I actually prefer sweet whiskey over what I'm getting out of here. I don't know what happened with this one. I honestly don't know. This has marshmallow, it has milk, it has so many nice notes. I wore it, I would say like 3 or 4 times. I wore it one night to bed with that layering combo. I woke up the next day and decided to give it another chance. I put it on and it made me really sick that day. Like it just made my stomach kind of, it was not good. So this one, as much as I want to keep it in my collection, it might be another one that might leave, which sucks because I really, really like this one. So I don't know what my nose is going through. Those two are the ones that I have on the chopping block right now. And that is it for my declutter for now. So I think that I cleaned up what I wasn't going to use, and we should be good to go from here on out. But that's going to be it for me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this declutter video. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if there are any of the fragrances that I mentioned that you kind of have the same experience with, or if you love them, you hate them. I want to hear your thoughts. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I will see you guys in the next one.